Hey y'all, it is Ryan Martell here, Martell's Movie Madness, and this is the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise ranking. I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, so why it's taken me this long to get to it, I'll have no clue. I really think that the only reason it took so long is because I really wanted to watch them all in order, kind of close together, but not really in one sitting, of course, because that's something you can only do every now and then. Um, but I did watch them all pretty recently to refresh my memory, and this is how they rank up according to me. This is my personal opinion on it, and is in no way a definitive franchise ranking. It is just the way I feel. There are 9 films in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, 8 original canon films, and a remake. Coming in at number 9 is said remake from 2010. Uh, Not that it's a bad movie per se, it's just a bad Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I enjoy certain aspects of it. It's very, um, it's very mid to late 2000s horror aesthetic. It has that brooding darkness about it. The cast is not bad. They're all pretty. Uh, well, I won't say they're pretty young because I'm pretty sure that some of these people were in movies before they were in this for like years. But I don't know. Maybe it was the writing. I don't know what it was really. Just didn't leave a good taste in my mouth, and that's why it's sitting at the bottom for me. Uh, Sorry, Jackie Earl Haley, you tried, but you're not Robert England.
You're not real! You're not real! You're not real! I am now.
Dean, what are you doing?
You're not real!
Dean, stop it! Dean! Dean, stop! Dean!
Up next, number 8. I have such a hard time putting all the rest of these in order because I like them all for different reasons and they're all so special to me as a franchise. But the next to worst movie in the franchise is definitely The Dream Master to me. And that's super hard for me to say because in a lot of ways it's great. Like it's like probably peak camp well, not peak because it's like right there. It's like neck and neck with Freddy's Dead as far as camp goes. Well, it's just below Freddy's Dead and Freddy's Revenge. Okay, I'm getting super fucking. I'm putting my foot in my mouth here. Uh, but yeah, the Dream Master, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Yes, we've got Tuesday Night coming in to take up the role of Kristen, and we get that cool Dramarama song. Um, Kincaid and Joey are back, but not for very long. But yeah, this is a fun entry. It's just kind of weak comparatively to the rest of the franchise, which is like, for me, it's like comparing my children. And then it's like weird for me to say that, I know, because like I had nothing to do with the creation of these movies, so it's kind of fucking weird. But yeah, that's number 8, The Dream Master. All right, number 7. This one would have probably been people's number 9 or number 8. But for me, it's just a little bit better than the Dream Master. Um, and I'm talking about the Dream Child, of course. I enjoy the idea of Freddy being able to get to you through a child's dream that is in your inside of a woman's uterus or anybody's birth giving person's uterus. I think that's fucking dope as a concept. I overall enjoy the characters in this. I think the one liners are really cool. And I love the tagline, the whole "It's a boy" marketing campaign was just dope to me. So that's number 7, The Dream Child.
Faster than a bastard maniac. More powerful than a local madman. It's Super Freddy. Told ya, comic books was bad for ya.
Number 6. And this is where it starts to get really hard for me, like super hard. Because even in my notes, I had to change this one last minute because I thought about it and I was like, yeah, no. So number 6, unfortunately, has to be Freddy vs. Jason. This movie's fun, man. It's a lot of fun, and but it feels more like a Friday the 13th movie to me than a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. You get a lot more kills from Jason. The Freddy stuff is fun in this, but it definitely feels more like a Jason movie than a Freddy movie, for sure. So that's why it's number 6. Number 5, we're getting up there. This is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 6, Freddy's Dead. Of course. This is a great entry. Honestly, like, if it wasn't so... If the rest of the movies weren't so fucking good, like, just much better, this one would have ranked higher. But because there are so many good movies in this, it's so fucking hard to rank them. And I know people are like thinking I'm crazy because they're like, oh, really, only the first one and Dream Warriors are good? So, like, what is this douchebag talking about? And I'm like, no, there's different levels of this shit. And Freddy's Dead definitely falls on a different level from the rest of the franchise. It is probably the campiest of the franchise. Without a doubt. And I'm saying, and I'm putting that over Freddy's Revenge, which is pretty goddamn campy in itself. But I definitely think Freddy's Dead is more campy. And I love that about it. I give that, it's as far as the campy sequels go, it's the campiest. And it's great. Number 5.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too!
Alright, number 4. And this is where I lose people. Because number 4 is the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I love it. It's great. It's one of my... If I put it in the context of movies I enjoy of all time, because it is the first of the franchise, and without it, there could be none of the others. I would say this goes into higher in my all-time movie list, but in this franchise ranking, it is number 4. I love it, but it's not the best in the franchise, contrary to popular belief. It's not even the second best, because a lot of people think that number one and number 2 are the original and Dream Warriors, and those are interchangeable for a lot of people, but no, not for me.
Where's your pass?
Screw your pass.
Hey, Nancy. No running in the hallway.
So now you're certain that my number 2 is probably going to be like New Nightmare or Freddy's Revenge. My number 3, I'm sorry. But my number 3 is definitely Dream Warriors. It's not the top 2. It's not one of the top 2. Like I said, a lot of people think the original and Dream Warriors are 1 and 2 respectively. Not me. They're great. They're both incredible movies, but my personal enjoyment is much different for the top two, and that's why Dream Warriors is number 3.
Hey, check out Tara.
In my dreams, I'm beautiful and bad.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Number 2 on the list. This is the second best in the franchise to me, and that is Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. Like I said, I love camp, and this movie is the second most campiest movie in the franchise, hands down. No fucking doubt about it. Mark Patton is fucking awesome. Robert Russler's fucking awesome. I forget the lead chick's name, but she's fucking dope. We got fucking Clue Gallagher. The fucking coach is great. This movie is fucking gay as hell, which I also love. And it doesn't hurt that Mark is a super fucking dope dude. And I met him and he was really fucking nice and just super kind. Had so much time for anybody that was coming up to his table. But yeah, number 2, Freddy's Revenge. Number 2 on the list, for sure.
You've got the body. I've got the brain.
And, in case you didn't guess by now, number 1, my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And this is sort of controversial, probably. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's definitely controversial that number 1 and Dream Warriors aren't number 1 and 2, respectively. But I don't know. I think there's a good amount of Nightmare on Elm Street fans that are like, yeah, I could see somebody's favorite being A New Nightmare. What I like the most about this is that it takes place in the real world. It doesn't take place in the world of Freddy. It brings Freddy into our world. We get to see Heather Langenkamp playing a version of herself. Miko Hughes playing her son. We get Robert Englund being Robert Englund. And we get Wes Craven and Bob Shea being themselves too. And John Saxton, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Wes Craven also. But this is genius, man. He tried to do Scream before we were ready for Scream, is what I think. Because I believe this was not very well received and received. Why did I say received? That's fucking stupid. Anyways, and I think a lot of people really do hate this entry. Like I said, a lot of people hate anything that's not one in Dream Warriors. And that's not fair. It's totally not fair because the rest of them are just as good as Dream Warriors. Or just as good as the original, honestly. As far as just overall quality goes. But, yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is my number 1 favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Love you, babe. We'll do lunch.
Well, y'all, thank y'all for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. Let me know how I did with my ranking, if it matches up with your own, or if you've got if you're gonna yell. I want you to yell at me if you don't like this shit. I want you to bitch me out and call me a poser or whatever, because that's fun to me, honestly. Differing movie opinions and people who have really strong movie opinions kind of tickle me a little bit. So go ahead and drop me some comments. Let me know how I did on this ranking. And look out for the super special surprise ranking coming in a couple weeks. And you guys are going to love that one. So yeah, let's watch some fucking movies.
Hey, Dylan. Ever played Skin the Cat?